Yo, Flurs, what's up? It's good to see you. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you all for coming. I'm glad you can all make it. Tonight, we have PJ Cruikshank, Dislord, Ryan S, and Khan, Michael Khan in the house. How you guys doing?
Yo.
Oh, good, sir. Yourself?
No, good, thanks. PJ,
Doing.
I see PJ's winning the polls, guys.
I don't know why.
No,
But
PJ.
if you debate me, you can't. I don't debate flat Earth. I don't debate globe, politics, or religion. So, what do you want to talk about?
Freedom!
Freedom, man. Freedom.
So it's 18 votes, guys. Who do you want to debate the most? Michael Khan, 28%. PJ Cruikshank, 50%. Ryan S, 0. Ryan, they're too scared of you, mate. It's probably because of the Cookie Monster face.
Thank God. Thank God.
Other Talas, 22%. So I don't know. That could be anyone. I would say Dislord, but you said you can't make it tonight, so.
I'm only here till I get a phone call, so I don't know when. I bet I'm here 15 minutes more maximum. I'm just guessing.
I dare say nobody.
And then you're gonna go eat some tofu.
No, I don't eat that crap.
Like bag of corn.
Yeah, no, I don't need. They're making homemade falafels and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know exactly what else.
Because I can just imagine it's like, hey, let's go have a vegan party. Want to come eat some beans and corn? Woo!
And daisies.
Oh.
I can fart the night away.
Beans and corn.
Hey, but I must say I had a vegan pizza. It was actually very good.
I have had some vegetarian food that I do like, but it's not something I'd want to keep doing all the time. But there is some vegetarian meals I do like. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, most of
I
the
thought cheese
stuff
was made from animals.
most of the but most of the things they make taste crappy. There's one here and there that's okay, but it's not good. Most of the stuff that comes out, I have to make it myself, or to be satisfied. The ingredients ain't that tasty usually. It's all that soy and gluten crap. It's not the same. You need to really find your ingredients yourself.
Yeah, everybody's got different tastes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to say hi to everybody in the chat quickly. Peter Cruikshank, Michael Khan, Groovy, hello. I see Michael, Groovy kept you busy there.
Yeah.
Five Oats, what's up, man? Good to see you. Moomin Rider, hello. Glad you could make it. Oh, before we go on, I had the first poll before we put these, because I wasn't sure who's going to be on the panel. Who do you want to debate the most? Donald Trump won with 57%, Joe Biden 28%, George Bush 14%, and Barack Obama 0%.
Ryan could be Biden.
Yeah.
PJ could be
No, Ryan is Barack Obama because he's 0%.
First of all, I don't think anyone can debate Biden, because I don't think Biden remembers the question right after you ask it.
Sort of like...
And I don't remember, he doesn't even remember his own questions.
Sort of like this...
You'll just be staring at him.
Sort of like
That if he finds his way onto the stage.
He'll just be staring at you weird and leaving again.
Sort of like the show today. Did you guys see Nathan Oakley's show?
I didn't.
About Grayson with the Coriolis?
I caught the tail end of it.
They were brilliant.
I still have to finish watching it. Yeah. Shout out to Nathan Oakley. Guys, do go and watch it. It was so funny. I'm sitting there the whole time watching it. It's like every time I open my mouth, it's like he just pauses it and he's going off for the same thing. It's like, yeah, I know what you're saying, dude. But yeah, it was funny.
The cretin, man. I was pushing it.
That was funny. Hey, Don Logan. Good to see you, mate.
Wait, who voted for me, damn it?
Oh, someone voted for you. Right, it's Expedition Truth. What's up, man? Glenn Souls, thank you for coming. Good to see you. Moxie, hello. Sovereign Soul, good to see you too, man. Glad you could make it. And Glenn Souls, yeah, good to see you guys. So, anybody want to debate anybody in the panel? The link is up here. Click it, come in and debate anything you want to the panel. You choose who you want to debate and what the topic is. And the rest of us just back and with you.
I'm rooting for Groovy to come in.
Hey, Bev, good to see you, mate. He says, can I challenge the panel to use scientific method to prove the Earth is flat?
Can I answer that?
Yeah,
he
go
can
ahead.
challenge us and I'll just laugh at him.
Exactly. I don't think he understands when we said shape is not science, but you can use deduction based on logic based from the science that's been observed and shown due to experiment that it cannot be a globe. Nathan blocked me for saying that gas has weight. Uh-oh. Does gas have weight though? Hey,
Wow.
Paul, good to see you, mate. Thank you for coming. Yes, exactly, Paul. It's
That's like
category
saying
error.
coffee is weight. You know. It's just
I'll show you. Wait.
you know.
Yeah, PJ knows all about it.
Which weight you
What was
talking
that
about though? Weighting as in like time weight or scale weight?
I'm on about that globe Earth I'm growing under my t-shirt.
You mean that rotating for the rubber sheet?
Are you making your own model?
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, well, it's good to see you guys. Please hit the likes and share the show, guys. It really, really would be appreciated. Yeah, because I thought tonight's going to be with Eric tonight, but I forgot. I read in the beginning of the OP of the email that it can't do Thursday night, so it's probably tomorrow night. I really hope so. Be great to have Eric on. It's going to be quite a cool interview because he's quite new to Flat Earth.
Well, just a few months, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not long, is it? Mm.
Has anybody caught this movie called Jones Plantation yet?
Never heard of it.
No, I didn't watch it yesterday. I was too tired. It as you said, it looked like the acting was not that good, and I didn't have patience.
Oh
for
no,
it, and I was
it's
too
worth
tired.
seeing. It's worth seeing. I said that because it's not
It takes a long
fabulous.
time to
It's not
start,
like
so I'll watch it one of these days. But I was too tired, you know. I was not patient enough when I'm that tired, you know.
don't miss it though. It's definitely
I still
worth
got it
watching.
on the screen. It is on that page. I don't want to mention the name if it's not, you know. But the page we all use for movies, it's on that page as well.
But like I said, I don't think Bev understands when you said shape is not science. You can use logical deduction based on scientific method because of experiments that the Earth is not a globe. That's it. Shape is not science. And the guy doesn't understand this category error. We observe it to be stationary, we observe it to be flat. That's about it. You can't do any manipulating the IV for that, can you?
No. You can't manipulate anything to do with that.
Again, try thinking that's misrepresenting. You can use scientific method, and based on deductional reasoning after the scientific method, it shows the Earth to be flat. Because the flat is the antithesis of the globe.
I'm seeing somebody claiming logic, but them seriously lacking logic.
Oh yeah,
Thank you.
remember this is the same guy that says, if you say it's not globe or it's not flat, what is it? Reality. Oh, okay. Yeah, flat's reality.
Interesting.
Hey Robert D, thank you for coming. I mean, it's very simple. If you're claiming a horizontal plane, that means it's flat. I can't help the guy if he doesn't want to just accept his actual flat earther.
Issue I've got is you've got ballers agreeing with him and that like that. That's a big
Yeah,
red flag for me. Like,
it's just
Big red
dishonesty,
flag.
that's all it is. But anyway, yeah guys, so tonight you guys can come and choose anybody you want to, just ask questions and debate. You guys can be flat earthers and coming and debate if you want to. I'm sure they'll be happy to debate you. It doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be about flat earth.
Yeah.
Hey Ulrich, good to see you, mate. I mean, like Discord.
Well, we
you
gotta be
can
careful.
Come debate Discord on vegan. I mean, I'm sure he'll enjoy that.
No, I wouldn't because it's not really something I care to talk about. It's just life, you know. I don't care what people do.
do. Be a sport.
Just like I don't really care to debate people on their beliefs, you know. I don't really, because I don't care what they believe, you know. I just hope they believe the right thing one day, or you know, something close.
Grigori, you could come in and debate somebody.
Yeah, Sliprador, good to see you, man. Thank
Yeah,
you
but
for
who
coming.
wants heaven to be crowded? though?
Please not on food. I don't want to debate on food because you know it's just not interesting to debate on.
Hey Lev, good to see you, mate. Yeah, because the thing is, this
I
Lord
think it's
only
an
wants to
excellent
debate
idea.
one thing: dogs or cats.
Dogs.
Cats.
Well,
Cats.
I'll debate him on animals then.
See, I told you.
Not that it's interesting, but I probably know a lot more than
He's got to
about
find the
animals than
thing that
most
he
people
wants
anyway.
to defend. Sorry.
I did cure my own animal from whatever the doctors and animal hospital said was impossible. I did do that, and I did have my cat for 3 years more after doing what they said was impossible. So, animals is my thing.
I don't think. Do you guys think we're going to get anybody in to come debate?
No.
I highly
They
doubt
just
it.
go- they just go sit and just mock.
We didn't last time, so we usually
We
never
might
do.
have to stir the pot a little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah, Greg, Sleep, you can come in, right? You've been in before.
Yeah, and
You've spoke to me before.
yeah, he's spoken to you before, exactly. Otherwise, we have to look for some really weird stuff. I don't know. Because I was looking through that debate with some of it with Brenda and Nathan Wright, Pitch Lumen, on Jaren's
Come have a look at Ruif.
Roof channel.
No, he were on Jaren's, weren't he?
Oh, was he?
Yeah, Nathan's covered a bit of it, like, but it'd be funny to watch, like, 'cause he thinks he's smart, Ruif, doesn't he, like?
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay, we can do that. We'll be alive probably.
On debatism.
Roof, there we go. I'm just scared when it comes
That
to
was-
when it comes
That's
to
Just-
exactly I didn't
I'm
really
just scared when it
think
comes to Jaren's content. That's all.
It's weird that I just noticed you subscribed to Jaren. I unsubscribed to Jaren.
I did unsubscribe. What the flippin' hell?
And when I go past it, I'm still subscribed.
You
I'm-
secretism.
You guys
Crazy,
saw
isn't it?
you guys saw me do it live.
Look at that on the
I
screen.
think a month ago, unsubscribe.
Yeah.
How much?
What's argument? What?
Poison commercial right in your face.
Fluoride.
Fluoride.
Now with argument.
Still- yeah.
No, but
Crazy how that
but
can go on.
Fluoride is good for you. It makes your teeth
Yes,
strong.
yes, and it's as
Yeah,
good
makes
for you
them
as
rot
the
out of your
Earth is
head,
a globe. It's
Yeah.
just as true as the Earth being a globe.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, exactly. Expedition Truth. As soon as Glow, because they're all big mouth, and as soon as they get invited to come actually present their nonsense and actually talk about it, they run for the hills. It's really, really weird. Stream is about to begin. Where's Roof? Where's Roof? Come on.
Ruhif on the shape of the world that we live in. Let's see what happens. Basically says intro.
Okay. I'm gonna probably have to make it a bit faster. Playback speed. Let's see.
Intros, 3 minutes each in a response of 1 minute.
What the hell is Jaren wearing?
Wow.
You know what it reminds me of? You know, like the
It looks like
the
a white.
Colonel. No, you remember the Colonel from Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Yeah. I didn't even know.
Which one's Jaren? I don't recognize him.
Yeah, I didn't even
In the
know it was
middle.
him for a second.
It looks like he's being dressed as, white coat guy, like.
Really
I'm
weird.
used to seeing him with one of them. What do you call them? They have them
Bow tie.
What's with all the buzzes, man?
It's crazy.
A do-rag. I'm used to seeing him with a do-rag on his head.
Yeah, he's always got a cap
Yeah.
and stuff on. Yeah.
Do
3
it.
questions, which are one
Yeah,
question, 3 answers,
it's-
one
it's
each.
what,
Then we'll go to
It gets called here a do-rag. It's usually what that kind of like. No,
I know what a do rag is. I meant
Oh.
like I don't remember
Hey.
seeing
I
him do
think
it.
they
but-
all
he does. He wears do-rags.
Yeah.
they must have agreed to go bald on the
Yeah.
show tonight. You know,
Hey Eric,
Mm.
how's
the
it going?
bald Trinity.
Sorry, man. I
Yeah,
just-
a while back it was beards. Now it's
I
not.
just want to
No,
say
it's-
hi, Eric. Good to see you, man. Thanks for coming. Sorry, I thought it was tonight, and then I read on the email the OP said you can't do tonight. So, is it tomorrow night then? I really hope so, man. It will be great to have you on. Hey, Tanya, good to see you too. Thanks for coming.
Just about time around.
I'm sorry, I'm not playing that game.
Yeah, she's every night she's at it.
Stupid
Guys,
sock.
I'm putting Eric's channel in for you guys. Please go and hit that subscribe button. Definitely well worth it. I think there's going to be some awesome content coming. Stay in touch. I think that channel's really going to be great. Oh, did I go?
Death Race 2000, 1975. It's got Sylvester Stallone in it. year before you did. Okay.
Hello.
Bev says he wants to. What? I'll challenge you to prove I'm a flat earther when I have proof the earth is not flat. Eh?
You
That
say
makes sense.
you say the Earth's
So
horizontal.
what?
If it's a horizontal plane, it's flat by proxy, mate. There we go. Eric says he can still do it today. If you guys want, you want Eric to come on and talk?
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Eric who?
Eric Sursel, the guy, the
I'm
flat
kidding.
earther.
I'm kidding.
Eric, yeah, if you want to come on, it'll be great. Yeah, you probably don't have to be on too long, but I mean, I don't think we're going to get any ballers coming on anyway.
Yeah.
If
Nice
you,
to hear his story.
yeah, if you're able to click the link above here and just get into Element, it'll be great. Otherwise, we can try do it through StreamYard as well. Just let me know what's going to be easier for you. I'll be great. Try thinking says I say level is horizontal. There we go, making my point. Welcome
That's
to Flat
exactly
Earth.
it. Level is horizontal.
Yeah, so welcome to Flat Earth.
Welcome.
Bev could come in and argue, like, but what am I going to argue with him about? Like, everything he says is flat Earth.
But that's exactly my point. So
Only thing I could argue with Bev about is his whatever issue he's got in his own head where he can't accept that he's a flat earther.
yeah, that's
I've no issue with things he says, but to me, he's a flat earther. If he wants to be in denial, that's his issue.
I'm sure when he used to Brandon's, he used to say he was a flat earther. I mean, I might be wrong.
no, he
but I'm
never
sure-
used to say it. He doesn't. He doesn't like being called a flat earther.
Why?
Well, maybe I just thought the way he
Look,
spoke, what
look.
he
Even
spoke back
I
was
understand where
flat
you're coming from, but I mean, at the time, you just have to get over it and just take it. I mean, I used to be at a stage I didn't want to be called a flat earther because of all the stigma and stuff. And then I decided, let me just take the bull by the horns and take it, accept it, because I'm a flat earther, so it's how it is. If it pisses people off, that I'm a flat earther, that just shows how sad their existence is.
You know, we should actually
Yeah.
tell Globers that they are not allowed to eat pancakes anymore because they don't believe they are flat. And pancake
Yeah, and you
puffs.
can't eat what
is
you
more
don't
than-
believe.
They should eat pancake puffs only, because that's closer to their version. You know, that's their pancakes.
I don't know. Funnel
Hope it's
cakes
gonna
are
come
so
in.
much better.
Pancake puffs. I just looked up the name. I can't believe it's such a ridiculous name for that food. But you know, it's a completely different name in Denmark.
Pancake puffs. It seems like too many
Pancake
words. Too many syllables.
Debatable D. Bev says he's a reality earther.
Yeah, I used to think he was a
Whatever
flat
that
earther.
means.
And when he used to
Well, I mean,
I always
That's
used
like,
I can relate to
uh,
what he's coming from.
You know, that's like hiding, if you know what I mean. You know,
like I said in Brandon's, I thought he was a flat earther because he used to talk about it, and what he spoke about was level, horizontal, flat. So I thought he was a flat earther. I didn't realize that he wasn't. I did realize lately that he wasn't, but when he was used to be in Brandon's, what he spoke about always used to seem flat to me.
and like, I don't care whether Bev wants to call us a flat earth or not. It debunks Globe. That's good enough for me. Like,
No,
but why he feels need to want to come and be trolling in a flat earth chat, I don't know.
It's probably because there's money involved.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm
a
going
lot of people watch debates.
Are we going to all hop over to StreamYard? Then I can send Eric the StreamYard link rather. I think it might be easier for him.
yeah. Are you putting it in Element in the link? Yeah.
How is it easier than Element though?
No, people
For
struggle
me,
with Element. That's why I say I'm
It
gonna
is like you just click and play.
don't
I
know,
mean, it's
people
I've
struggle
never.
with Element.
Yeah,
I don't know why
that's
people
weird.
struggle.
I find it easy.
I don't know why people
It took me a
struggle.
little bit to figure it out, but I have a cell phone, so
I
maybe
don't
that's
know
why.
if it's
Maybe
too
that's-
much struggling. I think people might be scared that it's dodgy or something. See, people seem to be right scared about being, you know, like,
live.
I don't know, like they think that they're being spied on, and you know, it's like
Oh,
if
yeah,
you're using
yeah.
if you're using a device or a computer, you are being spied on no matter what
Yeah.
you do.
I was going to say,
Even
yeah.
using a
Your
VPN.
smartphone, everywhere you go knows what you are doing,
It's
how you
crazy
feel.
to
pretty
me to
much.
be worried about.
Just smile, yeah.
Oh,
Smile
that
'cause it
platform
was what?
seems dodgy. Look what look at like what it looks into. You know, go on Play Store and look at all apps. You know, they all do it.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you guys in Element. And
Alan voted Khan. So did Vicky.
All right, so we're all cutting down and entering to that direction.
Yeah, we're gonna go move over to there, and then I'm gonna just send
Cool.
Eric the StreamYard link. Hey, Jolly Man, what's up, man? Price of Adam, good to see you too. Charlie Walsh, what's up, man? And Alan. There we go, StreamYard link. Okay, I've sent you the link, Eric. It will be cool to have you in. There we go. Got Michael in. I'll see you guys. I'll see. Just this Lord, enjoy your evening, mate. Okay, I got another. PJ, Ryan. Hello.
Let me in.
Are you guys here? Hello.
Let me in. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so I've sent the link to Eric. We'll see if he can pop in. I've emailed it to Eric. Be great to have you in, mate. Okay. Oh, it's good to see Michael's old avatar back a bit.
And my
The rainbow throw.
my one from 7 years ago. Is it 7 years ago? Hold on, it's 2017.
That one where you were conning people.
Yeah, well, Spud thought he'd been catfished by looking at my picture. And the next time he see me with pink lights and that, so there was shadows everywhere. So I must have looked a lot older than what I was at the time. But yeah, no, this one's from 2017, so it is about 7 years old.
Hey, Backplayer, good to see you, mate. Ah, this law's come in as well.
Yeah, I like that picture better than that.
And there's Eric. What's up?
I'm a bit thinner. on that
Hey,
one as
Eric.
well.
What's up? How's it going?
Good to see you, dude.
I don't know if my camera works.
Yeah, I've got my camera. I mean, plugged my camera on.
Can you hear us, Eric? I think he's trying to get all the sound set up.
He looks confused. But
That is
maybe
right.
freeze.
Hey, there's the Michael.
Mikey boy.
What's up, guys?
Hey, good to see you.
There you go.
Thank you
Good
for
to see you,
coming. I'm glad you could make it. Yeah, because I was like, I read tonight. I was like, oh, you still coming? I read on your original. I'm like, can't make it Thursday. I'm like, oh man, I misread it.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on, let me turn this off. Here we go.
There we are.
Perfect. I had both screens on. I was still watching the YouTube stream.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's delayed. So, hey, what's up,
I
guys?
thought it was that stuff, yeah.
But yeah,
I could see you were listening to something.
Oh, right. I was like, wait, what? What did they say? It's an echo.
But I appreciate you coming on, because I think your story is quite awesome, and I think a lot of people want to hear it in more detail, kind of thing.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate the invite.
Because I just want to find out, how long have you been into the flat earth thing, though? Probably a few months.
Oh, man. Like, really into it was probably a month, like maybe 5 weeks. And then it probably took me 2 weeks, really about 3 weeks of looking into it to really like change my mind, right? Like to really let go of this whole I can't believe how strongly I believed in the science community's explanation of Earth, and not just Earth, just the world in general. And I was it took me a couple days, man, I'm not kidding, like a couple days of once I started kind of seeing real proof in front of, like, things you see in front of your face that were really obvious that I never thought of before, like the sun with clouds behind it and in front of it, like how close it looked, the moon, how close it looked, the moon landing. I never even thought of it, bro. I had heard people talk about it in the past, like, oh, it's fake or whatever. I'm like, what? I don't know. You know, it just never really entered my daily life. So when I really stopped and looked at the numbers and what the science community was teaching, I thought, how was I this dumb? How did I believe this for so long? So it's only been like 5 or 6 weeks that I've really been
But
okay.
it's kind of
this is the
information
truth.
overload, though.
It is.
It is. It's
I
crazy.
really felt like Neo coming out of the Matrix, bro. Like I was about to throw up.
The only thing that you're still gonna have to get is people gonna try and ridicule you like crazy. It's like their best attempt to try to say, "Oh, you're stupid," you just get back to the globe kind of thing. And that's one thing that keeps me. How can I put it? It actually spurs me on to stay away more, because it's almost like a cult-like behavior that I'm getting from them, which is really weird. I mean, why would you care if a person believes the globe or not?
Right. Well, that's the thing. Kind of one of my litmus tests for most of my life is if something goes mainstream, gets a little too popular too quickly, I kind of back away like, whoa, if mainstream media is pushing something, there's got to be something off, and it's kind of been part of my personality too. If something like I like something until it gets popular, then I don't like it. So it's always kind of made me question certain things.
Exactly.
But this flat Earth, it's never really come up. I never really ran into anybody that talked about it. And so anyway, yeah, I was. It's a little background on me, I guess. I was a Christian growing up. I was raised Christian, well, Catholic, Roman Catholic, and then I went in the military. And I went overseas and stuff. I saw these different cultures and different belief systems and this kind of thing. This is way before the internet. This was like 1989. Okay. And so I didn't know anything going into it. I only knew what I was raised with. And so when I went to to Okinawa, Japan, I saw their culture. And actually my mom was really afraid for me to go over there because she said it's a non-Christian nation. Be on your guard or whatever, because you might get you might be open to different things in the spirit world, you know what I mean, being in that environment. So she was actually really nervous for me. But once I saw kind of different belief systems and how people in general we had this general kind of love and kindness about us, for the most part. And I thought, oh, well, okay, like we're all pretty much looking for the same thing in life, We want to be cared for, we want to be loved, we want to be important, we want to be, feel like we have a purpose and that kind of thing. And so it kind of started opening my eyes to that. Well, anyway, my dad died in 2002 from a freak accident. A 80-foot oak tree fell on him in his driveway. There's a big storm going on. He saw the tree about to fall. He went over to the neighbors, to the fence, and yelled at the neighbor because he knew he was in his garage and the tree was going to fall on his garage. And he yelled for him to get out of there. And so he took it. So the neighbor got his family out because the tree was going to crush his house and garage. So my dad was standing there making sure they got out. They ran to the front of by the street, whatever, away from the tree, and it fell. Well, the branches go out really far. Well, one of these small branches, and I'm talking like a 4-inch branch by the time it hit him, kind of whipped over on the side of his yard and hit him and killed him instantly. So that happening really made me question my faith, because my dad was a real big influence in my life. He was a convert. He grew up an atheist and then converted to Christianity when he was like 20 years old. So it was a big part of our life growing up. And so I was really angry at God. I didn't realize at the time, but I was angry because I didn't have answers. And so I started on this path of looking for, like in the Bible and stuff, like, why would this happen? Why does God allow this stuff to happen? And really what I found was, I didn't realize it at the time, but I wasn't looking for true answers. I was looking for something to satisfy my bad feelings. You know what I mean? And so it took me down this road of well, yeah, God doesn't care about you. See, he allows all this bad stuff to happen. It was just the enemy talking to me and kind of pointing me in this direction. And so it didn't happen overnight, but it was within a few years, I'd stopped going to church, stopped teaching my kids this kind of stuff. And then about a couple years after that, I went full on atheist, man. Like it kind of corrupted me in a way that made me like it hardened my heart. No kidding. And so I was like full on the other way. In fact, my mom and I would talk, and I would say, she would talk about praying and God, and I'm like, I don't believe in that anymore. Don't tell me about that stuff. I'm an atheist now. She would just laugh and go, honey, no, you're not, And
she knew.
She knew. She's
Yeah.
a tiny little Italian lady, okay, that would whoop my ass if I needed it. But she was always praying for me this whole time. And anyway, fast forward to just like 3 months ago or 2 months ago, I was invited onto a podcast. So I started, I guess, back up about 7 years. 7 years ago, I was paralyzed out of the blue with an illness, an autoimmune disorder called Guillain-Barré syndrome, or it's kind of similar to ALS or
Okay.
MS.
So it attacks your nervous system.
Yeah, attacks the nervous system. It breaks down the myelin sheath between the nerves, and so within like my first symptom, where one day my hands didn't work right, like I couldn't grip things very good. I was in pretty good shape. I was I worked out 3-4 days a week. I had a physical job where I worked on factory machines, like manufacturing machines, and crawling up inside the machine, using my hands and on tools and stuff. So anyway, my hands didn't work one night. I went to work and I didn't feel sick at all. Didn't feel tired. All I knew was I could barely grab the wrench or the ratchet to work on something. I couldn't hardly hold it. It kept slipping out. I was like, what the heck? Like, I thought that's weird. Like, I don't know. So, and then I couldn't go up this ladder on the back of a machine. Anyway. So I got down and I said to my buddy, I said, man, I don't know what's wrong, but I think I'm gonna have to go home. I don't know. So anyway, that was a Monday night. By Thursday, I couldn't walk or talk. I was laying in bed staring at the ceiling. And they did a spinal tap and stuff to see what kind of rule out certain things like MS.
Well, what goes through your mind though? What goes through your mind though when you're like lying there, you can't do anything? You don't know what's wrong.
That's probably the most
That sounds
afraid
horrible.
I've ever been in my life. I was, my fear was, this is how I'm going to end, and it's going to be a slow death where my kids are going to have to take care of me until I die, and this is going to be their last memory of me being like this. That freaked me out. And most of my life, I never really. I was a pretty normal person. I mean, I never worried about things. I always felt like things are going to work out. I spent 4 years in the Marine Corps. I figured I can handle myself. I can handle life pretty good. My wife and I were married. We had 5 kids. They're all adults now. And so anyway, when this happened, it was like I thought I was tough. I really thought I was tough until I'm staring at the ceiling for days. I can't even hold a TV remote. And I thought, yeah, you're not mentally tough at all, man. So it broke me. It broke me down. And then my mom comes out to visit to help, and she's praying over me and stuff. I think ultimately that's really what helped me walk again, to be honest, because the medicine they gave me did not work. Actually, it hurt me more. So anyway, so I came out of that. Coming out of that, as I was able to start walking and moving around again, just around the house. I'm talking like 3, 4, 5 steps at a time in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to come down to this room here, which is just down the hall from the bedroom, and get on the computer here. So I'm sitting here staring at the computer like, what can I do to help myself not go insane? I was very active before. and then all of a sudden I'm stuck in the house, and it was like a prison. I mean, it was loving. My parent, or my mom was here visiting. My wife was here. A couple of my kids were here. A couple of them were already moved out, and so I said, well, maybe I'll start a YouTube channel. I've seen these people start YouTube channels. This is like 5 years ago, okay, and because it took me a while to get walking again, and so I told my son, I said, hey man, let's start a YouTube channel. He was like, doing what? I said, I don't know, let's do reviews. I've seen these review channels kind of blow up and stuff, because I didn't want to take government assistance, right? Like disability. So I refused to sign up for that, whatever. I told my wife, I'll figure something out. So I started this YouTube channel, CNR Reviews, and it's actually named after me and my son. And so he goes, what are we going to review? I said, I don't know, grab something out of the kitchen. So we grabbed like a spatula and a spoon, okay? I don't know. And so that was kind of like one of the beginnings of our YouTube journeys or whatever. Well, then later on, a couple years later, I started another one called Trifecta Airsoft. And I met some people. Two of my sons started playing airsoft and paintball. And I said, oh, that'd be cool. Let me film that. So I started doing this airsoft channel. Well, along the way of doing that, I started talking to people on there that were playing airsoft and paintball. I said, well, let's do a podcast. So I started an official podcast. So anyway, and that's been going on for a couple of years. I think tomorrow, number 298, episode 298 will come out for the podcast. So I still do that. Well, one of the guys I talked with on that podcast runs another podcast with his friend that is about conspiracy theories. And about 3 months ago, he's like, hey man, I want you to come on this podcast with me and my buddy and talk about all these different things. And I said, like what? Oh man, I don't know, like flat earth, like aliens, like all this kind of stuff. All the other conspiracy theories I had heard of, except for really knew about, except for flat earth. So I said, well man, I better look into this flat earth stuff so I can kind of add to the conversation.
Yeah.
Instead of just sitting there staring. Oh my God, dude. It was like, so I literally opened this door to flat earth. Not like, almost like I'm walking down the hall and I open a door to the wrong place, right? To the wrong room. Like totally oblivious. And I saw this first like video going where it was interviewing airline pilots. And people asking, it was a compilation, asking them about flat. Yeah, it's all flat. And I go, what? And so it made me stop and listen. And I said, wait, okay. Man, that's a long way to fly. Like they're really high up and you can see really far. Yeah. Okay. So it kind of piqued my interest. And then, bro, for like 2-3 days straight, it was just nonstop. And I had to take a break from it, of looking into it, because it really was hurting my head.
Emotional, yeah. It's kind of, especially if you're not into it, and you like just get thrown into the deep end. You're like, the things you have to think about that you used to believe. It's mentally challenging.
It really was. And so I saw a couple of them too on kind of showing the biblical reference in Genesis of the creation of the earth. And I thought, wait a minute, I grew up Christian. I read the Bible all the time. I remember reading these verses, and it did not, how did it not make sense to me then? About what? And so it probably took a good week of that. And so these things were happening in my heart and in my head. And I said, and now you got to remember, going into this flat earth, walking into this door, I was still, nothing had changed about my faith. I was still full on atheist, full on like science world, spinning everywhere, monkeys and coming from a primordial ooze and all this shit. Okay. I was still into this. And so I wasn't really seeking truth about God in relation to, to the earth and stuff. So but I really, by the third or fourth or fifth day, I really had this sense like God was trying to work on me. I couldn't ignore it. It was so much, and I can't explain it. It was just a feeling in my heart. So I said, okay, I'll make you a deal. If I fast and pray until you give me an answer, then you give me an answer, I'll fast and pray. And I had fasted before, so it wasn't kind of, I was fine with it. So I fasted. I started on a Monday, and I was studying this stuff every day. Friday morning, I hadn't eaten one thing, no calories. I was drinking water, no caffeine. I had this massive headache because I was a major coffee addict, but I cut everything out so I could get clarity and get an answer, because I was really struggling. Like, this thing was really breaking my mind, and so by the Friday morning, I just had this overwhelming sense of love and compassion, and this answer of, hey, don't be afraid to move forward with this. And so I'm writing in my journal, and all these memories are coming up, and some of them were not good. There was a lot of things I had to repent for, man, to be honest. And it was it was an outpouring. It was an outpouring. Well, this is the other thing too, is because of how that happened and the progression of how it happened to me, and coming to this realization about the flat Earth stuff, I'm so attached. I'm emotionally attached to it, and no one can take it away. Like, there's nothing that somebody could show me or say that's going to take it away. And I know the Globies are going to be like, "Oh, you're just following. That's just blind faith, belief, or whatever. It's not based on whatever." Bro, you don't understand where I came from, and and how I got here. It's not. It wasn't easy. I didn't just see one video and go, "Oh yeah, it's flat. Okay, whatever." So it's very emotional for me. But anyway, that was the day that I said, "Okay, this is it," and that was 5 Fridays ago. So,
but I think
anyway.
the thing that caught me, though, because I was just being a Christian most of my life, and when I read the Bible, I didn't read it in the same light as I do today. I didn't read like, it's steadfast on pillars and things, and I didn't read it that way. It's because you're so indoctrinated to just, in your back of your mind, you're just seeing it as some spinning globe in space. So you just accept it. I even expected like the Big Bang kind of thing, like when God spoke, that's when the Big Bang kind of came in. But as soon as you actually look at the cosmology and how the Bible explains, you're like, whoa, what? It makes so much more clarity. And it changes your whole perception on actually everything that happens. And that to me just strengthened my faith to know, look, there's definitely a God. There's just no doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
May I just comment on, I heard you saying, Eric, you had something with your nerves? That was what you said, right?
Yeah.
Do you know about colloidal silver water? I just want to mention that because I think it will only, better you. It will even make a situation even better. I don't know how it is now, but it's very effective on that kind of stuff.
What is
and
it?
all health-related things in many ways too. Colloidal silver water, the water you made from a colloidal silver generator.
Really?
Very effective with that stuff. Yeah, I used it on my cat when she was cancer sick. She had a lot of trouble. I used colloidal silver and cannabis oil and herbs and stuff, and she went from a case of non-savable, to living 3 years more in pretty well health.
Really?
Yeah, she was so skinny, couldn't move, had no muscle mass. I got her back, slowly she started trying to walk, and she went back living 3 years more, jumping around again. I think the colloidal silver water had a lot to do with that.
That's quite interesting.
Colloidal
I
silver
wonder
water.
what's inside of there. That helps.
The silver water?
Yeah.
It's just 99.9% clean silver. You extract it, or what you would say, into the water with in nanoparticles, kind of, with electricity. Mm-hmm. If it's made the right way and it's not, looks clear and stuff, it's very good for you. It's
I'm looking
it's
at it
in
now.
such a small size that it doesn't hurt you.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very interested in
Because
it.
I
Well,
know the cannabis oil works quite well.
yeah,
Yes, yes. If
That's
you
what my
put
son
those
keeps
two
telling
things
me.
together, you got an even better. You've got something really fighting what's going on in you. On most cases of whatever you got, those two will do magic together.
CBD helps a lot as well from cannabis, but you don't get the THC. Yeah,
Yeah.
Vicky uses it. She
The
did. She
silver
was
just makes it even, makes it work
Yeah.
even better in you.
Vicky
Oh,
uses CBD.
I'm getting the
because-
call. I have to leave. I just wanted to get that in before I left.
Enjoy your meal, mate.
Like,
Just
Yeah,
the
Yes,
enjoy
start.
the rest of the show.
Just
See you
guys.
tomorrow.
Thanks for the info, man. I appreciate it.
Of course. See you next time.
Just cheers. But yeah, Eric, I'm looking forward to your channel growth for sure, and to see what
Thank you.
content you bring out, especially because it sits on my passion as well with the biblical flat earth kind of thing. So I definitely gonna look forward to your channel. Yeah, guys, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to his channel.
Yeah, thank you so much, man, for giving me a shout out for that. That's cool.
Actually, I think I did put your.
Everybody deserves a plug. Come on.
Definitely, I'm just getting his channel quickly.
Yeah, I was about to say you got a link, or else I could get
I
it.
did have it earlier. Now it's gone.
Yeah, you put it in yesterday. I remember that.
I'll put it in today as well.
Oh, did you?
You said earlier or before you were switched over to this platform, whatever. There was some other link you send people.
Oh, the Element link.
Element.
Yeah. Why? So I don't think I've ever used it, but I'm usually pretty good about figuring stuff
'Cause
out.
we-
It's a bit like this card.
Yeah. Sorry, Eric. Are you able to put your link in the chat in the YouTube, or even in the comments here about us, the private chat, and I can stick it in. Sorry, I just can't find where I put your link.
What's his name?
Oh yeah, for the channel.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, come on. Let's get him at least to 100. He's on 24 at the
Yeah,
moment.
definitely.
I mean, honestly, I put out this other video, or I recorded this other video as a response to some of the comments, and then I didn't post it because I didn't really like. I don't want to get into that. I guess for me personally, one, I don't really know enough to really debate. I just know common sense stuff and what I've seen, and secondly, I feel like no matter what you say, they just don't. They're not ready. I think they're in the place where I was.
As soon as you start making videos, you're gonna get trolled, and you'll soon pick up being able to refute arguments and that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the worst.
You'll have a fast learning curve. Put it that way.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the worst. It's the trolls. That's the worst. Here we go, guys. This is his channel. Please, I'm gonna pin it.
I guarantee he's got Sean Hawkins by morning.
Yeah.
That guy.
If you haven't had him already.
He has. He
Oh,
knows
is it?
him. He knows him.
Oh yeah, he commented on my first video.
He
And
did a stream
he
on yours.
seems
he
like
will.
he's angry all the time.
He did a
I
stream
went to
on
his
yours,
YouTube
yeah.
channel and I watched some of his stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, this dude's kind of. I'm really Sean. If you watch this or listen to this, I'm praying for you, dude. I really
man,
am. I'm not. I
definitely.
don't say that sarcastically. I really don't, because I feel like I was really frustrated, man. Before this, I know people commented saying, oh, you're so weak. You have to feel significant. Like you have to have this God thing to feel significant. And I'm like, that's not really how I felt in life. I just felt like once I saw the bigger picture, because look, it's not just like, okay, oh yeah, the earth is flat and whatever. No, it's like, then it goes, well, why do they lie? This is the most common thing, right? Like that so many people ask. And what I've seen in live streams where people debate, flat earthers debate globies and stuff, and all these people are like, well, yeah, okay, so why would they lie? And I said the same thing, so I totally understand. And once I realized, I was like, oh my God, this has been a very long process from an attack from the enemy to one of those. It's a big thing. It's not a small thing. I know people think it's a small thing because they go, well, who cares if the earth's flat or round? That's not going to affect my faith. Yes, it does. Because over time you start thinking, I fell in the same trap. You start thinking, yeah, it's another layer of confusion is all it is. So they keep changing like how old the earth is and how old this is and how many galaxies and how many stars. They just keep layering it on top. And when I say they, I'm really meaning the demonic forces that are kind of pushing this thing through the people that they're using. And a lot of these people, I think, don't even realize that they're being used. Yeah, I think that they think that they're just, they don't know where these thoughts come from, and they're just pushing this thing.
Yeah, because I think people are very naive. They don't understand that we fight against principalities and powers. It's real demonic forces that run this place. And I don't think the people really understand this.
Right.
Strongholds.
Yeah.
Strongholds.
Because this is why I like saying, when you take the heliocentric model and you try and compare it to what God's character is, it's totally 180. God wants to be personal with you. The heliocentric model talks as God's going further and further away from you, and is just metaphorical kind of thing. That's what the heliocentric model gives. It doesn't let you have a personal relationship. You're just purposeless here. Sort of like if you can imagine a child putting you in a ant farm, and he's just putting your ant farm and just pushing it further away and just observing you suffer. That's what the heliocentric model kind of portrays God to be, some sadistic kind of unloving God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt the same way. Mm-hmm. I felt the same way for a long time. Well, the thing was too, I didn't, when I came back to God, and I'm very fresh, very new with it. So, but because of my background and because of how it happened, I'm not like on step one, you know what I mean? I'm like all in, right? So I spent 20 years being skeptical of the Bible, being skeptical of God, being skeptical of all this stuff. And so now I just, because of the things that happened and how I've, the Holy Spirit moved in my heart, I was like, okay, I'm done being skeptical. I'm going to be open when I read this stuff. Because I was really skeptical when I was reading the Bible before, after my dad died. I was really I was criticizing instead of being open. So now I'm in a different place. So I don't, it's a lot going on that people don't realize. And the thing is, the enemy doesn't need to spend all this effort to try to get people to come over to his side. All he's got to do is take you out of the fight. Mm-hmm. Just lead you down a different path, bro. Like, oh, you're over here playing with the globes. Oh, you're trying to figure out dinosaur bones and how old this.
Yeah, it's a waste of time. Yeah.
Yeah, you're totally distracted. You're not in the. So it doesn't matter which side you're on. It's not just one or the other. There is a third faction, which is distracted. Yeah. Right? Which you're out of the fight anyway. He doesn't care if you're completely on his side. You don't have to be a full-on Satanist. Okay? That's too much work to try to get a Christian to convert over to Satanism. Mm-hmm. All it does is distract you with some other crap.
Yeah, remember, if you're lukewarm,
there you go. You get spit out.
Well, there's a lot of flat earthers who know this place is created, know there has to be a God, but they're more bothered about just debating globe earth, flat earth, and they don't want to find out who this God is.
Yeah, but I think
even worse still is you've got the people who come flat earth and still don't believe in a creator. I'm like, well, how do you work that out? It's obvious that we're created, so how can you not believe in a creator?
But you see, everybody just don't. Yeah, but everybody goes through their own paths, you can say. And at the end of the day, it's God gives everybody a free will. So he's not going to force you to have a relationship with him. He's going to take the camel to the well, but he's not going to make you drink. That's up to you.
No. Yep.
So all we can really do is just pray for them, give the information, and that's all we can really do. The rest is up between them and God. They need to work it out with God. Because yeah, definitely there's a lot of people that are very hard-headed and they don't want to accept that God exists. They know there's a creator, but it's more, how can I put it, self-fulfilling for them at the moment to say, I love myself, I love my sins, and to me it's, I don't want to be able to say, yeah, sorry God, I have sinned, and be humble, you know what I mean? So, and the Bible does say that's definitely going to happen in the end day. And I am strongly a believer that we are in those days, no matter how far away it is, not giving a time, but we are definitely in the end days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really awesome story you give, Eric. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's still new, so I'm still kind of.
And you're
It's still really emotional for me. I can't see how it would ever, because of how I came to this point. I don't see how it's ever gonna go. I'm not gonna feel this strongly every time I tell the story. 10 years from now, but there is a definite connection here, because it wasn't like I said, it wasn't just I saw some videos on flat Earth and okay, yeah, so the Earth is flat instead of round. Woof. Okay. It's such a rabbit hole that I did not expect.
Well, listen to this, Eric. 2 days ago, I met a friend who I've not seen for like 10 years, who I went to school with. I'm 44, so like we were at school like 30 years ago. And when he was 15-year-old, he just come to school one day and he was like, I'm done with everything. I'm not smoking no more. I'm not hanging around with you. I believe in God, like. And we're all like, shut up, you nutter, what you on about? And I met him the other day, and I says, Dave, I says, you'll never guess what, like, but I've found God. And we were talking and that, and I says, and let me tell you something else as well. We've been lied to about the shape of Earth. And he went, oh no, it's flat. Bible says so.
That's awesome.
I've seen him in 10 years. And it just blew my mind, And I was like, Dave, I wish I'd have listened to you 30 years ago, mate. I really do.
See, I haven't come across that. I haven't come across someone that just turns around and said to me, "Oh, that's flat." I've managed to convince a couple of friends, but I haven't bumped into someone that just turns around and says, "Like, oh, I agree with you. It's flat, definitely." But I'd like to convince them, But it'd be cool too. I mean, bump into an old friend and they turn around and tell me they've got God and they ask flat and that. Brilliant, fantastic.
But I have to say, with personal experience, when I talk about the flat Earth and things to normal, ordinary globers, it's a total different reaction to what I get from the people on the internet, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's a lot of the people, they kind of like you just take it as like shock. What are you talking about, kind of thing, and then they actually go back and think about it. You know what I mean? And they don't attack you for it, kind of thing. It's just
There's that like shock and like mental pain you go through when you realise Earth's flat, and that's a turning point. You either go with truth and reality, or you become one of these anti-flat Earth defenders. That's a branch.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But the people we deal with in YouTube, in chat rooms, and comment sections, they've chose to just go along with a lie, and defend it, and some of them possibly even know that they're wrong,
Of course, there's a lot of them out there that's debating for the globe side that know it's flat. You know what I mean? Look at McToon and that. They know that what they're punting, it makes no sense. What he's saying makes no sense, especially when he's like debating you and that flat. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He always has to rage quit or something like that.
I don't understand with McToon is he's claiming to be a Christian, but he wants to discredit the Bible and saying it's full of contradictions and it's just metaphorical. You're not supposed to take it seriously, but he's a Christian. I don't understand that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And how else you meant to know what Christ is like unless you look in the Bible? Because that's what Christian means, isn't it? To be Christ-like. So you need the Bible mixed in. You know what I mean? If you're a Christian, you should be reading the Bible. How else you got to know about Jesus?
Yeah,
I think that was the other thing too. When I was like away from when I was an atheist. I felt like, and because I guess because I grew up a Christian or whatever, I was more critical of Christians, and I thought, gosh, man, Christians, especially here in America. Now I'm in South Carolina in America, and there's so many people that say they're a Christian, but like they're really Christian in name only.
Yeah.
Like they only say it because they don't really know what else to say, because everyone else says it down, especially down here in the South, man. This is like the Bible Belt. So they're but they don't live that way. So it's so weird. And I mean, I wasn't judging them in a way because I was atheist. I was just like, whatever. But I did judge them. I was just like, see, Christians don't even live like that, you know?
Yeah, that's what I say. That's what I say. A lot of Christians today is, I would call a garage Christian. It's like if I sleep in a garage, it makes me a car kind of thing. So I go to church on Sunday, so therefore I'm a Christian. And that's not how it works.
No. I've never been to church in my life.
But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I used to point out certain things in the Bible to my kids that I felt like were contradictions to showing that God's not a loving God. You know, especially like in Genesis, I think it's Genesis 19 about Sodom and Gomorrah, those kind of things. Yeah. Well, first I would point out that I would say, like, okay, if this is true, then God's not a loving God if he does this. If it's not true, then, you know, if the Bible's not true, then there's definitely some explanations for this. Maybe a volcano erupted and this is the story they told instead of, you know, the real thing or something. But I spent so much time, dude. This is why I had a breakdown when I was praying and stuff, because I wasn't just like in the neutral zone. I was actually teaching my kids against believing, and oh my gosh.
So you were full blown atheist. You're like convinced it's just not real.
Yes.
But I mean,
it was. But how's your? It was frustrating.
But how's your mindset? I mean, after being a Christian, you become an atheist. How's your mindset? Like, what if I'm wrong when I die? That wasn't that like in your back of your mind? Nothing.
It was. No, it was. No, that was this was a long process. This didn't happen overnight. This was years of, well, not just thinking about these things, but my actions were not great. Okay. So, you know, my wife and I we had 5 kids in 7 years. You know, our life was busy. Toddlers all at the same time. I was working in a factory, my wife stayed home with the kids. I was working 70, 80 hours a week, and I really just had time for work and sleep, and barely, you know, see the kids or whatever when they were little. And I did this for quite a while, and I focused on making more money. This is after my dad died. And I remember the day that I made this decision to start working more because of money. And before that, what we had for years, my wife and I, for the first 7-8 years of our marriage, we had a really good balance. It didn't matter what happened. Nothing, no circumstance affected like what we did and how we felt. We prayed every day together. We went to church all the time. We didn't just go to church. We prayed all the time. Anything that came up, if we didn't know about something, we'd pray for discernment. This was and we had a really good balance. I didn't make a lot of money, and she stayed home with the kids, but we made it work. And it was probably the most peaceful our life was together as a married couple with kids. And then I remember I started working overtime. Then my dad died. Then I worked more, and I was just trying to fill this gap of I want nice things kind of thing. And that didn't happen overnight either. That was a process. But once I turned away from God because of being angry about my dad dying, I was really like, I focused on the secular things. I remember I started listening to harder, like heavier music and stuff at work. I started smoking again. I had stopped smoking after like cigarettes, after the military and stuff. Started smoking again. I let things go. I didn't care about my body. I didn't care about. I just stopped caring about a lot of things in life, and then that ended up where. And I'm not trying to be reveal too much or overshare or nothing, but this is just our life. When we, but I cheated on my wife. There was, a girl at work. I was there so much, no excuse for my actions, but I understand the process of how it happened, and that made me put me in a darker place. That lasted probably a couple months, but it was enough to make me. It was just another stepping stone in the wrong direction, and I had some guilt from stuff in the military, and that I had never thought of. Anyway, I was a really dark place, man. After my dad died, it wasn't just like, oh, my dad died, I'm sad, I'm mad at God, and that's it. And I'm going to throw a tantrum. It was a handful of things that the slow process. And I listened to the wrong voice.
Yeah, you like it. You hit a stumbling block, and then enemy preys on that.
Exactly.
It sees a weakness, and then and it spirals.
And it totally spiraled, dude, big time.
Yeah, I remember when my dad died as well. It also hit me quite hard because it was still that morning. Me and my dad still went outside, and I was like, "Oh look, I'm cleaning the frost off my windows and stuff," and it's just I'll see you tonight kind of thing. We hardly spoke, and then I went to work, and then later on got a phone call saying, "Oh, my dad's in the hospital. He had a heart attack or anything." And anyway, I rushed over to the hospital. When I got there, he was already in surgery, and that was it. It was past. And then later on, I had real resentment because my mom didn't tell me to speak to my dad before he went in for the surgery. So I could have still spoken to him. And that's something I had to deal with for a while as well, because I took it really as bitter. And I mean, that was something that challenged me crazy. At least I didn't get to atheism out of that, but it was a hard and tough thing to realize that I had to forgive my mom for not letting me speak to my dad before this happened, because I couldn't now say bye to him. So that was something I struggled with for quite a long time. But yeah, if it wasn't for God that time, I think I would have gone over the edge and something would have happened, because I was very emotional at that time of my stage of my life. And I think when it comes to it, God, he has a way of working with people in different ways, and he's always there at the right season. And you really, the experiences you go through, if you think back, if it wasn't for God, I don't know where I would have been right now.
I personally don't think you can truly come to God without having bad experiences. Not that God's sending them bad experiences, but it's through them experiences that you scream out for him, and knock on the door shall be answered. But so what Eric was saying, like Jesus says that whoever the Father gave him, he'll never lose one. And I think when you hit that stumbling block and you start to spiral, and I think God will really like, you think I'm losing, and no, I'll show you,
And everything in his timing as well, isn't it? Because we try and sometimes push things, even with prayer. I think it's not being answered and stuff. It's not being answered maybe right now, but it'll be answered when God's ready. It's in his timing. When we try and push things or try and hurry it up or try and slow them down, whatever. It's always God's timing is better timing. Because we tend to think, right, we'll pray to God because we know best. You know what I mean? But we don't. We just got to submit in the end.
Yeah, definitely.
That was one of the things that really I was kind of just in the last couple of weeks, to be honest. I've, I guess, surprised or overwhelmed with how patient God was with me when I was like doing all this stupid stuff, and
Eric, if you could see what I've done in my 45 years, like, he's not only patient. I can't even describe how forgiving he is, because like things I've done in my life, mate. Wow.
Yeah, that's it. Same as.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's good, man. It's been good. I'm really excited to be on this journey, to be honest. Not only do I love learning new things, but it's I just all this stuff with being right with God and all this. I feel
it's a weight off your shoulders, man.
Oh my God, dude, for real.
I know exactly where you're coming from. It's like when you check all that heliocentrism and all them lies that you've been fed all years, all crap that you hear on news daily, what they're throwing at you. Check all that off. No comets coming to destroy this place. No global warming. No this, no that.
Right.
It's all
There's no
bullshit.
fear. That's why I laugh when they say, alien invasion imminent, or there's a
I know.
asteroid.
Bro, I'm not kidding, man.
Everybody gets mad at me. They're like, you need to take this stuff seriously. I'm like, give me a break, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Get away from me, man. You guys are freaky.
I was that guy. I was seriously like, I think that's why I was so frustrated. I mean, seriously, 6 months ago, I was like freaking out because all this crap going on in the world. All this stuff, Israel and this and that, and these wars, and I immediately start thinking, going back to like the military stuff, and like, okay, how do I protect my family? What if this happens? And it was stressing me out, bro. I never showed it, right? I never showed it, but in my mind, I was really that guy. Now I wouldn't tell anyone. I wouldn't be like, oh, you better worry about this. I really didn't watch the news that much. I watched it enough to know kind of what was going on, but it was like this other all these layers of, like you said, like the trash problem, the warming problem, the all this stuff that they talk about. All of our politics in America right now are
crazy.
A debacle.
It's crazy
and then,
right now.
It is. And then all these wars, and then aliens. I got to think about that too. Like, bro. And then flat Earth. No shit, dude. Flat Earth. Released, it not only brought me back to God, but all of that other crap went
Just
away.
fades away, yeah.
I was like, in one day, just in a few days, okay, like just gone.
Yeah, there's so much less trace. There's so much less trace.
Listen, I appreciate you guys that have been doing this stuff for how long, because you guys are the ones that I was watching videos of where that started to convince me and bring me to this point. So I'm very, very grateful.
Well, I appreciate people like you that are honest, because it's not every day we get.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, it's not every day we get people like honest. That's why I say, let's, for instance, like I would.
There might be another 100 Erics who've just come to Flat Earth recently. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We don't get a chance to hear from our speaker, but
no, that's it.
It's truth, and truth's being revealed. We're in Revelation.
Exactly. But I mean, that's why I don't know if you've seen when I was speaking about that STST guy. When you look at him, you say, was a flat earther. Look at the difference between how he presented himself as a flat earther compared to, for instance, you, Eric. There's a total different 180. The whole, I don't know how to explain it. The whole body language, atmosphere shows he is like kind of ingenuous, disingenuous, trying to just do it as a ploy, just for publicity. Where
they all lie. I was lied to, and then I think I find truth, and then I think that truth's lying to me. How do you know? You're at a point then, like, how do you know what's true and what's not? It's just crazy stuff.
I mean, I know, even if I decided one day, okay, well, I'm just not doing this flat earth stuff anymore, whatever, I'm definitely not going to be on the side of, oh, you flat earthers are stupid or whatever, I'll probably just vanish off the internet. You just won't see me again. You don't want to say, okay, guys, I've had enough, kind of thing. But when it gets to seeing people that's using it, manipulating the system to say, I'm an ex-flat earther, you guys are just stupid, and then fighting stupid arguments like, flat, where's your ice wall? Show me your ice wall. It's like... That's your best argument you got. Where's your ice wall? You know what I mean? It's just nonsensical.
Right. Where's your model?
Yeah, where's your
Oh my
model?
God.
Show me your model. You gotta replace my model and my beliefs, and if you don't, then I'm not gonna believe what you say. Okay, well, I guess you're not gonna believe what I say. 'Cause I'm not gonna give you-
Exactly. Like this,
I'm not
I've
gonna
gotten
replace it.
so
I'm
many.
sorry. If I did that, I'd be just as big a liar as everybody else is.
They're like, "What's your flat Earth model?" In fact, I'm going to tell you what happened on that podcast I went on. So I had started looking into flat Earth like maybe 4 or 5 days before that podcast. So I'm right in the mix of like on the pinnacle or edge of oh shit.
They saw you coming, bro.
This is so,
They saw you
I
coming.
go on this and they're like the first thing they asked me because one of my buddy was like, hey, we want to talk about this and that, and what do you guys want to talk about? And I was like, flat Earth. So
Oh no.
they go, yeah, and two of the guys were just like rolled their eyes, and I could see it, and I was like, I don't give a shit, bro. But one of the dudes was like, so as a flat earther, you guys believe this is? He started asking me this technical question. I said, bro, I'm very new. I don't know what you're talking about. I forget what he said. Some model of this and that. Might have been the what is that map? The flat Earth map or something.
Hey,
The Gleason.
Yeah, the Gleason.
Yeah,
He said something about Gleason.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that yet. Okay, so I'm like, man, I don't know. Look, I don't really have to like prove it or anything. I'm just telling you. And I would bring up certain things that doesn't this make you question though? Like, what about the Antarctic Treaty? Oh, that's just you can still go to the Antarctica. I'm like, oh, you can.
I know somebody that went.
How do you know?
Yeah, but I mean,
I swear I do.
what they
Let me
don't
just
get.
Let me jump in quick, Flatzoid. Eric, you were in forces, like, so you should know whether that's true or not. You know.
Look,
You must know whether
Yeah.
there's boats out there defending. Is it 66 parallel or something?
the 60
Yeah,
right.
past the 60s. But see, the thing is, you
Yeah.
can go to Antarctica, but it's only to a very specific location, and you
Right.
have, and it's very expensive, and you are guided. You can't go on an expedition on yourself and do what you want. And when they show people that cross Antarctica, you can see they just go past the Ross Ice Shelf. It's like that's not Antarctica. It's like saying I've gone to the coast, and because I go from the coast, therefore I've traveled the whole of Africa.
Right, yeah. Right, yeah. I've been through the savannah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's I feel like the some of that, like I just saw this podcast the other day with Sean Ryan. He was talking to this dude that ended up in Antarctica, spent some time in Antarctica, and he saw a bunch of wild, crazy stuff. But he was talking about the different governments using weather manipulation machines or whatever.
Like Hop.
So he said he made a comment during this podcast saying that he got contacted by a group or whatever about flat Earth, and he was like, "No, I'm not going to, talking about your flat Earth propaganda, whatever psyop." He said, and I said, I just shook my head, and I thought, So look, if somebody, the fact of the matter is, somebody could be stationed at one of these things in Antarctica and still not know.
What's going
Like
on?
Antarctica's freaking huge, bro.
Mhm.
Like, what you're gonna walk to the edge? Like, no. Like, you're gonna take one of those tracked vehicles. How much gas do you have? You're not gonna make it. Okay, like you're not gonna go. That doesn't prove anything about that Antarctica's not an ice wall, or it is ice wall, or there's other thing beyond it. Just because somebody's stationed there and said, "No, I didn't see anything." No, what did you see? Snow flying around? Like, you can't go that far.
Exactly.
Frozen tundra?
The talk is though you're gonna walk. The talk is though you're gonna
Desolation,
walk.
man.
The talk is though you're gonna walk 100 yards and bump into the dome or something.
Oh, it's crazy.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, that's also when they tell me why don't I go to the ice wall, I just reply back, if you want to go, then go. It's not going to. I don't need to go freeze my tits off because you want to see if there's an ice wall or not. To me, it doesn't bother me.
I don't need to see it. I mean, maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but I wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what gets
Like,
me. These.
I've always said, right, there's just enough in Genesis to let you know the difference between creation and heliocentrism. and to be thinking about, other than that, then you're missing all the point of the rest of the Bible. You know, it's all about God's love for His creation. You know, it will fallen. Like, God can't create another God, so when He creates, it's always going to fall. You know, so it's all about His plan to put that right. And worrying about an ice wall is just crazy to me.
Yeah. I got an email a couple days ago from somebody that commented on a last video that I put out on YouTube, and was talking about. He's very respectful. I really, most comments have been pretty good. They're not terrible, you know. I mean, they throw in the I can't believe you believe in this dipshittery thing or something like that, but bro, you're not hurting my one feeling, okay? I got this email, and the dude's like, you know, be really careful not to go down the flat earth rabbit hole, because, you know, you'll just fall into another lie. Like, there is no dome, there is no, you know, kind of thing. He's kind of proclaiming these things, and I'm going, man, I don't know how you could. Where is the middle ground? Like, how could somebody be in the middle?
Yeah.
Like, you're not, like, I don't get it. I guess I don't know enough, you know, about all these different things yet.
Sorry, I just got a super chat. Aaron Armstrong, thank you very much for your $2 super chat. He says, what do your family think about your belief in FE? Well, I don't know who this is to. If it's to me, they don't actually care. They support me, by the way. It's just something that doesn't bother them. You guys on the panel?
And my mum is 99.9% a flat earther.
Yeah, my family don't mention it. They know I'm a flat earther, but they don't mention it. They don't care. They don't care much. But I reckon the question is to Eric, to be honest.
So my kids, because I started talking about this with my kids pretty soon after that Friday morning, I started reaching out to them because I really wanted to tell them I'm sorry for teaching them wrong for so many years, and then I started sending them TikTok videos, and which I never got on TikTok before this. Okay, so they're like, what is going on? Hey, Dad's talking about going to church, God, and flat Earth, and now he's on TikTok. What happened to our dad? So
I bet they're all saying midlife crisis.
Yeah, it really was. So
next should be buying a Corvette.
Yeah, right. So it was pretty crazy. So I would send them a group text like, "Hey, look, I'm not trying to convince you guys. I just want you to question." And I did raise them about that. I did raise them to kind of question things. Like, if something doesn't sound right, you know, just question it. Okay, look into it. Don't be afraid to look into it. Don't just go along with the crowd. In fact, don't even go along with what me and your mom teach, because we don't know everything. Like, there's no perfect guide to parenting. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, there is in the Bible if you follow this stuff, but it's I was like, we don't know everything, so just kind of be open-minded about certain things and look into things. Well, anyway, so I sent him this text like, hey, I'm not trying to convince you guys. I'm just telling you, question this. What do you think about this? Okay. And so we started having a dialogue. And so 3 of my kids are, well, 2 of them are for sure on board. Like, they've seen enough that they've gone, what? Okay, this is crazy. And they went and did some research on their own. They text me back like, you know, days after and said, yeah, this is okay. Like, this, the Earth is flat. So, and then one of my oldest son, he's actually pretty skeptical. Like, I sent him this video the other day. He goes and it was a video about a compilation of all these different things about the flat Earth, but also showing the military documents and the NASA documents that are declassified. Right, there are highlights in there over a flat non-rotating Earth. Okay, so these technical manuals, whatever. So his response was, "Oh, I thought you couldn't trust NASA." And I said, "Oh shit!" I say, "No, these are declassified things. These are things they don't want you to see. You can't trust what they want you to see." Okay. So anyway, he was just being facetious, but it was So I'm praying for him. Okay. So he's a little skeptical, but he was honest. The first time we talked about it, he said, I want space to be real. I don't want to let go of that because it's fun. Like, he plays video games. He's read all these books, sci-fi books like Halo, the whole Halo story. It is fun. It is exciting to think, like, oh yeah, we can go and fight aliens one day and like go to these different planets and explore. He didn't really want to let go of that, and he's like, it's kind of sad if this is all there is. Like, I don't know, but he doesn't understand yet God's purpose for his life. So if you don't
that
have
might be a key to why people fight it so much, though. Maybe that's maybe in their hearts that's why they fight it so much.
Well, think about it like this. What we'd like when they talk about when you take like the Matrix of Cypher, when he wants to just go back to not knowing he's in the Matrix.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just willful. It's being willfully ignorant. You know it's not true, but you want to stay in that dream world because it's comfortable.
I want to forget about it. I don't want to know all this stuff. This is too much. I don't want to fight anymore, and I just want to go along. And so
everybody can respect that angle, though, right? Like when you find out something and you realize and you think it's too devastating to live with, and I can understand but that's why you lead people out of it. That's why that's why I think some of us are here. We're here to like help the people who are going to fall, because they're going to be going through the same parts of the journey, right? And when I got to those parts of the journey, I had a lot of difficulty. My family doesn't want to agree with me about it at all. And matter of fact, a lot of my family stopped talking to me on Facebook, so I just stopped using Facebook completely. So I mean, I've been down different roads, but yeah, it can be very difficult psychologically, especially if you already have psychological issues. You know what I mean? If you've already been through a lot of things in your life, and like you have, and you're talking about some things that happened to you, I was like, wow, I can relate to all that.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I mentioned it to my mom. Now we live in South Carolina, but my wife and I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, which it's about 600 miles. It's about a 9-hour drive in a car from there to here. So my mom and 2 sisters still live up in Ohio. A few weeks ago, I mentioned to my mom, I said, hey, when you were growing up as a kid, my mom's like 82, okay? When you were growing up as a kid, did anyone ever teach in your classrooms like flat earth? And she busted out laughing. And she said, honey, now she didn't know anything about where I was coming from. It was out of the blue question. So she was like, no. They've known that the earth is round for a long time. I said, oh, okay. And I just dropped it, right? It was just one of these random, and then we started talking about, she was asking about the kids, And so my sisters know I would not bring it up to. They're not really open-minded about stuff like that in life. They're great. I mean, I get along with my sisters and my mom, obviously. Great respect for all of them. But my wife is 100% on board. She has seen the change in me. And I think the change in me affected how open she was to look at flat earth when I was showing it to her because of what happened to me.
That's cool.
So
if I hadn't changed it all, because I was a raging alcoholic. I was drinking just 2 months ago. I would drink every day for 25 years. So it never affected my work. It never affected my job. I was a happy drinker. I never really got angry or fight, or nothing like that with my wife or anything when I would drink. But it was a huge part of my life. Constant. And part of it was I wanted to be numb, and so it's been 2 months, and it's the clearest I've been in my life.
Yeah,
I started drinking when I was 16.
I mean, if I look at you now, it doesn't look like you're really drinking or anything. You know what I mean?
No.
You kind of detoxed.
Well, I'm going to tell you, man.
You kind of detoxed.
I got to clean my body out, because I'm going to tell you what happened. I gave up drinking. I gave up alcohol, and I started having these cravings for chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I am not a sweet eater because I've always drank alcohol, and now I'm like, why am I craving sweets? So I think I gained 10 pounds in the last month. Usually I lose weight when I stop drinking because of all that, water weight and the sodium and stuff.
But,
But,
I'll tell you a few things about when I was at school. We were drinking every night bottles of super strength cider and going to school next day at like 13-year-old. I took LSD at 15 and went to school.
oh shit!
And I took my first ecstasy tablet before I did my exams.
I think the most stupid
I went
thing
to
we
school
did.
high for
I think the most stupidest thing we did was give all the teachers space cookies.
What's space cookies?
Yeah.
Marijuana cookies is
Ah.
we almost got
Sure.
arrested.
Show and tell.
We almost
Oh,
got
that's
arrested.
crazy.
It was crazy the whole day. All the teachers, there was no school. They literally just sat outside.
They were just rambling about
Shut
flowers
the school
and
down. What?
It was crazy, especially because they weren't used to it. The one teacher almost ran around naked, actually. Because That's
that's
crazy.
awesome.
But yeah, the things people do is we were quite people. I think we're I don't know. Us generation when you're growing up, you did stupid stuff. But I mean, it's different stupid stuff like the generation of today. The things that people do today is like just idiotic. It's not naughty. You could say fun naughty kind of things. Today it's like
Right.
Where's Wally? Shut up. Of course he knows the question. He's going on about that question thing.
it's day 10.
Can you get
Every
Yeah,
time he's
can
going
you
to go on, I'm just going to keep it a day longer. That's all.
What is the question?
No,
Whoa.
Michael brought out an observation that showed, according to the globe, it's supposed to have X amount of curve. While according to his observation, it showed too much curve for the globe. And if they claim
curve, yeah.
refraction, it does opposite of what they claim, because they claim refraction brings the curve away. So if they claim refraction, it makes it, and he's showing it's too much curve for the globe, therefore it can't be a globe. And whereas Wally thinks he debunked Michael, and I said, but Michael gave me his other footage that he hasn't seen. So I asked, can I do a video on it to show him where's Wally's wrong? But I just haven't had time to work on it yet, and where's Wally's every day is asking me, where's this video? Where's this video?
But you know, Wally's getting no sleep over this, doesn't he?
Nothing.
He knows, and the thing is, he knows he's got to be wrong. He knows he is wrong. It's
I mean-
just ridiculous.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, I can literally just show the one video Michael showed without even saying anything, and it debunks Wally.
Yeah, it does.
But it's nice keeping him on the line.
See, this is what I was saying to him. You know, ego. You know, I've got to debunk that stupid flat earther, like, and don't even consider. The guy lives in Australia. I live in England, and he's telling me what I can and can't see on beach in England. You know what I mean? He's already lost there in my eyes. Like, if you want to tell
And
me
they
what's
can't
what, come to England and do some obs, and then tell me what's what.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, and they can't use the refraction in it because it's too much curve. It's meant to lift things up. Do you know what I mean? So they can't use refraction either.
Sorry,
Brilliant.
Eric, can I ask you, you said you were in the army for 4 years.
Yeah, the Marine Corps.
Marine Corps. So you probably used a rifle. Did you have to account for Coriolis?
No. I will say this. When I started looking at this, I was like, I know snipers. I know friends that were snipers, and I don't. But it's been a long time, man. It was 1989 to 1993. I was in, and but I'm thinking, no one ever. I never even heard
They
that
spoke
word,
about
bro.
it, yeah.
So now in the Marine Corps, I'm not sure about the other branches, but we qualify with our rifle at the longest distance out of any other regular branch of military. Okay.
Yep. Here it comes.
So our longest qualified shots are at 500 yards, 500 meters. And that's with iron sights, or at least when I was in, we had iron sights with the M16A2. And we account for bullet drop and wind. That's it.
That's it.
So there is no, the earth is spinning, so, whatever. But when I looked up the Coriolis thing, it was like, it only affects things traveling 1,000 yards or more. And I thought, even then, there's no way, dude. There's no
You're not gonna see
way.
anything, yeah.
You're not going to see anything, number one. Number two, I don't care how smart you are not placing that bullet from 1,000, let's say 2,000 yards away if you have to account for this Earth spinning, whatever, first off, you have to know where you're at on the planet to know how fast the Earth is spinning at your location.
Exactly.
Give me a freaking break, bro.
Yeah, because the angle, of the way it would work is you have to be at the right angle to understand.
Yes, and you have to know which direction you're shooting to know how far the Earth is going to spin before your bullet gets to the target. There's no way.
Insane. Yeah, I'm trying to read the super chat out. Then I want to also say something about that. Thank you, Retro Ball, for your $5 super chat. It says, great conversation. God bless you all, and thank you, Eric, for your honesty. By the way, anything lined up for tomorrow's show? No, nothing yet, mate. You got any plans? Would be great. Thank you very much for your super chat. And
I'd love Retro Bill to come in and talk.
Yeah, Retro Ball can come in anytime. Yeah, and then
Thank you, Retro Ball.
I just want to say hi to my wife. She's in chat. Hi, Liffy. Dankie dat je gekomen bent. Bye, Liffy.
Met je sepsie.
And then, yeah, Eric, exactly. It's just wind, drop, and Magnus effect. I actually grew up in the military base because my dad was in the army his whole life, actually, and I just grew up moving from military base to military base. So I was part of going with my dad to the bush for 3 months and stuff, and then doing recce trainings and all this stuff. Never ever was anybody there ever talking about Coriolis or trying to account for this kind of anomaly or anything. It was literally aim for your target, look at the wind, shoot. That was it. I never ever saw this.
And Flatzoid, that's Globiolis, like, isn't it? What they're claiming with bullets is Globiolis. It's not even Coriolis. They don't know what Coriolis is.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. If you have to now shoot a target, and you don't know your latitude, you don't know what speed you're going, you don't know what position you're looking at, how nobody has time to sit there and work out all this stuff and then take a shot and hope you're going to hit your target because it's going to be moving away from you.
No. It's the most ridiculous thing. That's the thing I found is when you see these, what the science community is saying, if you would just stop and just look, don't even look up flat Earth, okay? For real. Don't even look up flat Earth. Just go look at what you were actually taught. What are they saying today? Like current. What do they say about gravity? What do they say about the spin of the Earth? How fast we're going, where we're going? Look at all these numbers and really just take a step back and go, all right, does this make sense? Okay, well, the Earth is spinning so fast, but the gravity is so strong that it can hold trillions of gallons of the weight of all this water onto the Earth without flying off. But it doesn't, pull so hard that it like smashes us to the Earth. Like there's certain things that just don't make sense, bro. Like when you see these memes that show, I saw this meme that had the top part of the picture was the results of an earthquake with all these buildings have crumbled and so much destruction, right? This giant crack in the middle of the roads and cars falling in it. And it says when the Earth moves just a little bit. And then underneath it shows those little like rocks at like a river or a stream or like in Utah that are just, naturally stacked up. And it says when the Earth's spinning 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, my favorite meme. My favorite meme of that was like when you have the people on the roundabout. It's like going 60 miles an hour. It's like, and then going 1,000. I was like, and then at 400 miles, and then you got like this all of a sudden like the rock sitting there, 1,000 miles an hour. You see the guy sitting there next to the rocks.
But I'll tell you what, Eric. Do you know, like when you've
it's
been
just so ridiculous.
When you've been at heliocentrism for like 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm up to like 7 years. The more longer you're at it, the stupider it sounds. Honestly,
right? It's absolutely
crazy.
Yeah, 2015 for me. So it's coming up for 8 years now. Yeah, it's crazy.
I can remember, Eric, when I was about 5, 6 years old, being in car with my granddad and saying, "Granddad, how come it doesn't seem like we're driving around a ball?" And I think he gave me all that like, "Oh well, it's just that big. It looks flat, And when you're young, you question that, and then you just get bombarded with all indoctrination.
And gravity is the everything. Gravity solves everything. That's the adhesive to glue everything together in the globe. It's just ridiculous, isn't it? Something that you can't test, prove, see, feel. Ridiculous.
I still want to
Well,
know.
going back to that model thing, when somebody said earlier about the model, like show me the model, that's what I've gotten a lot of, and I feel like the way that a lot of these guys are asking this question.
Have you ever seen that model?
Well, like which model? Because it's too big. Like,
there isn't one.
Yeah, we can't. How can we have one? And so they're going, we got our model. Where's your model? I'm going, you don't have a model, bro. The fact that you think you have a model shows that you don't know. Okay,
but it gets followed up
that you don't know,
and that gets followed up by show me your flat map.
I mean, if we all came up with this really beautiful CGI'd, great looking thing that was a flat thing with the dome and showed all this stuff about it, maybe more people would believe it because they're so duped by video, I guess. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's still weird.
A bit like ancient cultures used to draw. How stupid those are, them.
But that's one thing I was just, I don't know, I'm still trying to understand. They say the civilizations years ago were so stupid, so primitive. But look at the
Flatzoid. Yeah, but in that comment section today, you saw it because you love art today. Like, but I had that thrown at me today. Like, you're gonna believe Dark Ages beliefs.
But I mean, look at the things.
Them Dark Ages where they built like pyramids, and we still can't replicate.
We can't replicate with the technology we have today. But they were primitive, apparently. I don't understand that. The same primitive civilizations that all had the same cosmology of a stationary flat Earth that never met each other. The new kid on the block is the globe. Yeah. It's not old. It's the new kid on the block.
Right.
I'm still waiting for them to prove people like Eratosthenes have existed. There's no documentation for the person. There's no work of the person of existing. The apparent things that the work burnt down in a library.
And they always fall back on dead people who can't speak.
Exactly.
Like Newton, like you've seen them quotes of Newton where he didn't want ascribing to gravity. And then 400 years later, they're ascribing him to it.
Mm-hmm.
That Eratosthenes thing, somebody commented on mine saying, Eratosthenes knew this like however long ago.
2,000 years ago.
I got to be honest, man. When I saw that comment, this is probably about 3 weeks ago, I didn't know what that name was. So I had to look it up. So I looked it up, and I remembered once I started reading about it, I remembered the test. I remember hearing about the test, the two sticks in the ground, all these miles apart or whatever, and the shadows and that kind of thing. So
two sticks in a well are two wells and a stick.
The sundial and a stick.
Yeah, the sundial. So I'm looking this dude up, and I'm going, wait a minute. It says he was born in 276 BC. Wait, what? That long ago?
Yeah.
And half the comments I'm getting are saying, are kind of knocking flat Earth belief because it's so old. Oh yeah, that's the old way to believe. And yet they're referencing a guy that put two sticks in the ground, and you don't know so yeah, you stuck the sticks in the ground, but you don't know these other variables like the location of the light source, like the sun.
What about this, Eric?
You're assuming
what about this though, Eric? Like, there's no evidence Jesus existed, but there's a guy measuring sticks and shadows about another 1,000 years before him. Like, it's mental.
But the thing is, Jesus, there's so much documentation that Jesus existed, even by pagan and secular theologists agree with this. There's a lot of documentation that Jesus existed, evidence and proof. Where's one thing that Eratosthenes ever existed? Nothing but broken telephone stories, which came, by the way, I think 200 or 300 years after the guy supposedly lived.
Yeah.
I heard this talk the other day about the literal word, so the written word, and the oral accounts. And I guess, so the guy was talking about, back before Jesus, and like the beginning of time, when people would, they had a better mental capacity. So there were scribes that would actually memorize whole books of text.
Yeah.
And they would, or even before the text, I guess they would memorize these stories. I don't know. And they were talking about how
paper weren't easy to come by, were it? Back then, like
right.
We think you can just get paper anywhere nowadays, like, but back then it was like
they had these scholars that would
scribes.
actually test, like when they would teach you these stories. It wasn't because one of the criticisms, and I was in the same boat when I was an atheist, was that it's the game of telephone, and it's gotten garbled over the years, right, as it's been passed on. And so, but this guy was making this point that back then they used to actually, they took this very seriously. Like they, the spoken word, they would
Memorize
tell these stories. They wouldn't just make up stories. Certain stories were like really sacred to them. So they would, when they would teach these, as they were teaching their children and these other scribes or whatever, as they got older, they would tell them, they would test them. And so they would have to recite these things back. And if they were off, with their wording, they would correct them, So it's like, supposedly it's supposed to be a really accurate account. And so when the Bible started getting written, right, with Moses and stuff, there was like a lot of these stories that were kind of, I guess, criticized by people like me, like I used to be. They actually have a lot more validity than what we think. It's not just somebody lost translation because it was the telephone game or whatever. Like it was more important that they were more accurate. I don't know, but there is a lot of backup, like what you said, Flatzoid. There's all these other references in different parts of the world that talk about the same things that coincide, and these people never met. So it's kind of these are proofs.
Yeah, but I mean, they had, like you said, they took this very seriously. So they had people which actually they memorized everything that was taught to them, and they had scribes that wrote down what was memorized, and that's how they did the scripts. Excuse me. And that's how they actually got the information down as accurately as possible.
But didn't they find in Dead Sea Scrolls a full version of Isaiah that were like pre-Jesus, and it matches more or less word for word what we've got now?
Yeah, look, there's definitely some changes in translation, but it doesn't change the overall story ever since the creation. You know what I mean?
I think it's a poor argument to say it's like not like it was. God's made sure that it survives.
Exactly. I mean, show me any other book in history with so many different authors keeping the same story alive with so many translations as well.
Yeah. Over so many thousands of years, it's crazy.
There's so much stuff backing it up, like archaeological proof and that, like we was talking about with the Dead Sea and all that. In Moses.
And there's when you actually read Bible, like there's things in it like where it was like, how would anybody have even thought to have said that? You know what I mean?
Like the wisdom of Solomon, like Proverbs and stuff like that. I mean, who would have come out with that?
Somebody let me something about Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. There's only John mentions it was who cut that Roman's ear off, when they arrested Jesus.
Yeah,
is it Simon?
Peter.
Simon or Peter cuts his ear off when they arrest Jesus, and Jesus heals it. Well, they're only John named who it was, and John wrote his book after all that business had calmed down with Romans and that. You know what I mean? It's like who'd have thought to have done all that if it were a story?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I find it very ironic that the globe is so-called evidence or proof for a globe is based on fictional characters that have no evidence they've existed, and it's feeble things like, for instance, Galileo I see boats go over the sea, over the ocean, so therefore it's a globe.
Yeah.
I mean, and then our argument is, but how? We can do this exact same thing demonstrating on flat surfaces, which gives the same effect. So are you going to just go and say, okay, because you believe it's a globe, the boats are going over the curve? Or are you just ignoring that we can show the same effect on flat surfaces?
Would Galileo have made that same claim if he'd have had a P900 or a P1000?
Doubt it.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Doubt it.
You can't be leaning back on 2,000 years ago, people. Like, it's silly.
I mean,
And
did you see
they tell us that we're in Dark Ages, but yeah, all their claims come from Dark Ages.
But I mean, did you see the telescope he used? I mean, binoculars give more magnification than the telescope he used.
Yeah, I saw a video on that. Somebody did a video comparison, comparing that telescope or whatever, saying how it's this tiny little, like I think it was a 9 times.
Yeah, it's literally like a pinhole prick.
And so this is one of the things actually that that kind of smacked me in the face. Like, wait, what? We got this information that we are standing on today in the science community, saying
Exactly.
this is proof. And this dude used this tiny little. Oh no, but he was so smart. He could figure out the stars. I'm like, bro, you don't know. Oh my god. Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's like basing your whole cosmology on a turd.
it's so crazy.
And
man.
then you talk to them like, okay, when they say like celestial navigation. I don't know if you've got into this argument yet with celestial navigation. And then they say celestial navigation means a globe, and you're like, but the best known civilizations that did celestial navigation that actually started this all were like the Phoenicians and the Vikings, and they were flat earthers. How can you explain this? They were the ones that actually started this whole celestial navigation business. They were flat earthers. So
It's like when you go to NASA page to find out how they discovered, like how they read eclipses and that, and they tell you that on the page. It comes from ancient Chaldeans, and they were like, "Wow, Babylon or before Babylon."
Huh.
Mental.
But I mean, it's the same as when they say, "Oh, but our model, we can predict eclipses." Yeah, go look 2,000 years back. Flat earthers were predicting eclipses straight through. What are you talking about? It's just observations. They've taken through the years, and they've just logged it down. So they got their cycles, and that's how it's set down. Now they've just mathematically put it onto their globe and said, "You see, therefore it's a globe." No, you've just stolen solar cycles data and said it's globe.
Yep.
I think there's a lot of that going on. I've seen that if NASA puts out something, it just they assume, or it just proves that it's a globe. Like, it doesn't matter what they use, even if it's like it's irrelevant. It doesn't mean anything about the shape of the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
They say that it does. Well, because NASA pushes all this globe stuff, and if anything NASA puts out, like you said, this thing or whatever, they're like, yeah, see, NASA put it out. It's a globe. I'm like, that doesn't mean it's a globe. Like, yeah,
That's crazy. Yeah. No,
everything.
but you're going to see, the more you're going to look into it, the more idiotic arguments you're going to get going. You're going to think, I still don't know how the people are fighting for this. And I literally feel sometimes it feels like people are getting dumber. It's just weird. It feels that.
I mean,
way.
that's their point. That's their goal, I believe. It's just to distraction and dumb us down and keep us in the hospital.
Oh yeah.
On
I mean,
medication.
what about some of all stupid space footage? Have you seen all that, Eric?
What is it?
With wires, all ISS footage and all that space footage,
dude.
right? With wires and that.
That blew my mind, because I never thought about that before. I had seen these, clips that they showed on the news of, space station. Wthey're working on this, and oh, look, they're talking to us from space. And I would glance at it, because my wife and I, we were really busy, so we never really had cable or anything. Like, we didn't watch TV very much, and so I would see glimpses of it when you get together with family, like at holidays or something like that, and they would have the news on because apparently that's what everybody does. And I would see these clips of, oh yeah, did you see this? And they would show the space thing or whatever. I'm like, okay. So I never really thought about it. And then once I saw these videos showing the, like, debunking it and showing the cables and how I was like, oh, they're on suspension cables. What? And I would look and I'm going, holy shit. Okay. Like, it is amazing. Like, that's what I want to encourage people, anyone that's watching or listening, or if you see this or hear it, just really just go and research. Try to be open-minded. Look at it unbiasedly and just really try to critique it. Let's say you're in a college class and your course, your job, your homework is to find the flaws in some of these videos to see if they're real or fake, to see if they're like, like what they do in the movies, or is this an authentic kind of video? You know, the videos I've seen with somebody from shooting from the window of their airplane as they're on an airliner, and they show the sun with clouds behind it and clouds in front of it. It's like it's really difficult to debunk that. Okay, so these are certain things that kind of affected me and made me question even more to go down farther into this research, I guess. And I would encourage you, if you're on the fence, if you're kind of like back and forth or whatever, really just treat it like it's a college course, and this is your job as your homework to go critique some of these videos. You can do either side, like flat Earth ones and globe ones, but go look at the space stuff. Go look at the satellite videos where they show the satellites. And I think, is it Dave, Flat Earth Dave, I guess?
Dave Weiss, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a video where he shows a lot of people. I've seen this video pop up a lot where it looks like a satellite. It looks like one of the ones from NASA, a video. And he's like, no, we're just in our front yard. And we just turned the camera upside down, and it looked like the solar panel wing of a satellite in space, looking down at the Earth. It was amazing to me that you could do that with, that easily, because so anyway.
If you want to do yourself a favor,
I encourage y'all to look into that stuff.
If you want to do yourself a favor, look into A Space Odyssey 2001, but look into how they did the VFX of that movie. And then you look at the NASA footage for the ISS and stuff, and you'll be able to pinpoint exactly which IFXs they are doing. Because remember, Stanley Kubrick actually
did 2001
Odyssey. He actually him and Disney were big friends with NASA and the Apollo missions. So it's really, and if you look at, I think NASA today have something like 21 VFX studios. Now, why would you need so many studios? Yeah, why do you need so many studios if you're just going to space?
It's not look, a studio is different than a training site, okay? In the military, you have training sites that are set up like mock whatever environment you're going to be in, but you don't have cameras and all kind of other stuff placed around. Now, I know somebody was going to say, well, they would today, like back then they didn't. They would today, so you could go through, and learn, like watch your film and learn, kind of like football players do. But but what about green screens? Why would you need green screens? Why would you need all these, cables and?
I mean, and NASA's not shy to say they've been working on augmented reality technology for a long time. They love working with augmented reality. And that's
I just pulled up Space Odyssey. It came out in 1968.
That was
and the moon landing was 69.
Exactly. That's
bro.
You just watch it.
Come on.
Yeah. Look at, and Stanley Kubrick was very meticulous in the way he did his shots.
Right.
Let me tell you something, Eric. Right. I never believed in moon landing, but I still believed in space and stuff.
Yeah, same as.
And when I look back on that now, I think, what? I don't have that kind of belief in you.
Yeah.
The moon landing was the moon landing was sus to me for a long time, and I totally got it in my head that moon landing never happened. But I still totally believed in space, and I probably believed you could still get to the moon. I just believed that nobody had been there yet. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I think that's common, actually. I think that's because of the Cold War thing. Oh, it was the space race, so that, we kind of all assumed, okay, yeah, they just faked it because they wanted to prove to the world that we did it first. Yeah, I guess it would make sense like that.
Exactly.
But when I saw some of those about the moon thing, and it showed the background of some of the pictures, and some of the pictures had stars and some of them didn't, like it was pure black background. I was like, wait, what? What?
And then the excuses later on because they get called out on, oh, it's just exposure.
Oh my god,
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
See, this is what Paul said. You see, it's based on the Sorrow cycles, and Sorrow cycles is just data accumulated through many thousands of years of observation.
Farmer's Almanac information. Just buy a Farmer's Almanac, it'll tell you all that.
Wow,
so it's crazy. But yeah, I mean, when I did a debate, that was a few months ago, and I was debating a global on, is the moon landings fake? One of my arguments was the different astronauts having different stories on did they see the stars or not. And all I got from the guy was hand wave dismissal, because he couldn't give me an answer. Why is someone saying there is stars, someone saying there isn't stars, someone saying they think they see stars? I mean, look at Collins. When he came back to Earth from the moon, he says he can't remember seeing any stars. Later on, when he wrote his book, no, I did see stars.
Yeah, that's like one of the first things you'd look at.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, but like the back that argument up, Flatzoid, by saying like, oh, you can take a picture at moon and you can't see stars, but that's bull.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, it's absolute bull. It's not exposure. It's rubbish. That terrible argument.
Well, how did they get the infamous shot of you can see them on the moon, you can see the moon, a big part of it, as they're standing on the moon, and the Earth is way directly straight behind them.
And it can't be. The moon's supposed to be
instead of looking up.
Exactly, because they're on the face. Because they're on the face. So
it's so crazy. It's anyway. Some of these obvious things. It's still, even now, just shocks me.
Show him that picture of Earth where moon's
from China.
It's on NASA website. It's actually on NASA website as real.
NASA.
And then they say the Earth is how many times bigger than the moon, and yet that picture. The moon's really tiny. I mean, the Earth's really tiny when they're on the moon. Yeah.
There's two of you, I've brought this up before. One time Earth's right small, and then next time moon's right small.
Yeah.
And then Nixon talked to them on a landline phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When they're on the moon.
With
very
minimal delay.
I busted out laughing.
See what happened.
I heard someone pop in now. Oh no, no one popping in. Okay, I'm trying to look for it.
I lost signal for a second.
You know that one I mean with it looks proper CGI
Yeah, if you can find it, it would help though.
I love it.
Shots. Oh, sorry, Eric. Okay, let's go. Yeah, but it's awesome having you on, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I can't believe the time already.
Oh, I know, right? I know. No, it's fun. I mean, this has been, this is gonna be fun for me for a while. This is still a journey.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
Every day you're gonna learn something. I mean, even me today, I still learn new things. And what I've realized, we just progress the argument further.
Right, I've found it on YouTube, but you can go to the NASA website and find the same video.
Just share. You can just share your screen.
I've put it in here private chat.
Okay.
Yeah, there's this other one of the other things that kind was a piece of the puzzle that started convincing me as well was the I saw a video of somebody comparing craters from geysers to craters from what the science community tells us are what, asteroids or something? Meteors from space.
Yeah, because they say it's meteor strikes. I mean, impact craters. I mean, even here in South Africa, I remember going to our impact crater here, and just going there, I even asked the guy, okay, where's the meteor?
Yeah.
There's like nothing.
And why do they
there.
always hit? How do they make a perfect circle? Like, wouldn't they have to hit exactly perfectly perpendicular to the ground when they're coming in, so they wouldn't make a trail or something? I mean, it is. That was one of the other things. I'm like, wait, I believe that too. Like, what? Okay. But every single crater is perfectly circular. I don't get it.
That picture,
And
image of
water geysers. The water geyser makes sense. I mean, think about it with the flood of Noah.
Flood.
Just like when it explains the waters came from above and from below. It makes perfect sense why we see what we do. See, this is supposed to be real. Look at this.
Okay, so this is
this is NASA.
relationship.
You can find it on NASA website, but this is YouTube.
So this is supposed to be
real.
The relationship between. Oh, this is supposed to be like
real,
an actual
photos, time-lapse photos. Of the moon and the Earth.
The dark side of the moon. The camera's looking at the dark side of the moon.
Do they explain how they got this far behind the moon?
No.
To get a picture. How did they get this far behind the moon if it's 230,000 miles away?
Think about it. This is the dark side of the moon.
This is crazy. So what's taking the picture? That was so when I was showing videos to my wife over the last month and a half or so about flat Earth, and I'm like, check out this one about the moon landing. It was the one where they're standing next to the little rover vehicle or something that they had on the moon that they were driving around, and it said on the picture on the video, how did they get this in? How did it fit into the spacecraft? And my wife looks at it and goes, let me look at that. And she grabs my phone and is like,
you can't.
She goes, oh my God, what? How did it get in there? I said, it didn't. It's fake.
You only have to look at Moon Lander, man. It's like, what do you call it, Flatzoid? Tinfoil and scaffolding.
You literally have one astronaut saying the Ellen was so thin that he could stick his finger through it. It would stick a hole through it with his finger. Now, how are you going to go into a vacuum system with aluminium foil that's so thin you can stick your finger through?
Crazy. It's mental.
I mean, just flying at high speeds. Bro.
But the biggest red flag for me was, look when they tried to test the LMs on Earth before they did in Apollo 11. They didn't get it right at all. And they went to the moon anyway and did it perfectly. How?
Yeah.
Well, imagine if Lander went as high as a plane.
Wow. Exactly.
So yeah, well guys, I guess that this was a nice chat. You still want to go on a bit, or you guys are?
I'm enjoying it.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
Oh, anytime, you're always welcome.
Awesome.
And you're always welcome.
Yeah, thank you, man. Are you guys? Are all three of you guys? Ryan was in here as well. Are you guys all in Africa?
No,
I'm in England.
No,
that's right.
CJ is.
I'm in England as well. I'm Scottish, but I live in England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
then Flatzoid, you're in Central Africa, correct?
Yeah, I'm South Africa. Yeah.
South Africa, yeah. So I had on my other podcast, I've talked to people all over the world. So I've talked to 3 different people from South Africa. I'm not sure what part, but and then people in the UK. I probably 30 people I've talked to from the UK, and talked to a couple people in Scotland, and then I talked to a guy that is in the UK. He's in the RAF, but he is from Scotland, PJ. So Actually, that podcast, he was active duty in the RAF. He was in his barracks when we were talking. You could hear the jets taking off in the background. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool.
But
cool.
I talk to all people all around the world, so I always ask, what time zone, and when we're trying to set up the meeting, because that's usually the biggest
It is. It can be a pain.
obstacle. Yeah,
Especially
when you have all these
flat-
different people from different time zones.
But guys, time zones, it means globe.
That's a good point. Yeah, right. It's funny.
Where does your
You know
sun
what?
go
I never
at
thought of
night?
that.
Yeah, where does your sun go?
Where
at night?
does the so
Away?
time zones? If we're spinning, yeah. So the time zones are based on the sun, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or daylight, I guess. So if we're spinning that fast, how do time zones work again? Because I mean, how does day and night work if we're spinning all this craziness?
You see, the globe just takes
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the globe is just we moving away from the sun. Spinning, falling backwards. You can say, where in reality it's just the sun moving across from us. So that's why they say, where does your sun go at night? You just say away.
Yeah,
It's as
it
simple
doesn't
as
go
that.
down or up. I mean, I see the illustrations they have where it shows like how the sun and moon rotate and everything above us.
Terry
And,
Riker did actually one again today. He released one. I don't know if you watched it. We're trying to explain the
season. Yeah.
the
Who is it?
seasons. Terry Riker, Flat Out Truth.
Yeah.
Flat out truth.
That'll be where Eric saw that about geysers.
Yeah.
Possibly.
It will be like.
Shout out to Terry Riker. I really enjoy his work.
It did one about moon and all, like where like when resin sets and it. I don't know if it were resin, but like when it sets and them little bubbles pop.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is based on like the Gleason's map. But I mean, this is at the moment. This is how it's explained on the flat Earth. But you see, this is what I try and. This is how I explain it. Look, the sun moves and it just lights up a portion, which is. Guess what, guys? It's demonstrable,
You're
which
not
is showing
sharing.
now. I'm not
You're
showing
not
for you
sharing.
guys. Sorry, I was supposed to share on the screen for you. I'm showing everybody on YouTube.
Oh, this is cool. Yeah.
There we go. I mean, look, it's able to demonstrate this.
Oh yeah, I've seen this one before.
Yeah. But when we ask the globies, please demonstrate something for your globe. Oh no, it's too big. Earth is too big. Scale. Don't you understand scale?
Like the fact that you have sun's GPS sunspot on Earth, it should debunk
Oh yeah, that's got a
93
hotspot alone,
million
yeah.
miles.
Something that recently came out too about the moon. They did there's some kind of new, I don't know, laser. I mean, I used to use lasers to test heat. In manufacturing, we used to use them all the time years ago. But I guess they have the stronger lasers that can go to the moon. They tested the moon. It's the lit up part of the moon is actually colder than the shadows.
Yeah,
pretty
definitely.
crazy.
Remember, the moon definitely it's colder. It gives a cold light, but the globies don't like that.
Yeah.
They just say you're just stupid. You don't understand because it's radiation, and no, the moon doesn't give the sun's light. They
What
making
about-
this claim, but they haven't been able to prove it.
And what about that argument that Adam and Kiwi and Brian brought out, that moon shadow?
Mm-hmm.
They have sundials, they have moon dials as well.
Mm-hmm.
That cast same, so like moon casts same shadow as sun does, but they claim sun's 93 million miles away and it's parallel light, but moon's right close.
Mm-hmm.
So it sort of debunks parallel light rays.
Yeah, well,
If I've not butchered that.
there is no parallel light rays. They simply don't understand that. I mean, when you
But
look,
they need them for their destinies.
They do need it, but I mean, let's for instance take this is that they like doing. Don't you understand perspective? Divergent rays. Let's take a like my thumbnail where it's showing the railways. They don't understand perspective is from the observer to the observation point. They're looking at the sun now and saying, "Oh, but you see, it's diverging towards you, so therefore it's perspective. That's why it looks like it's diverging." No. The sun's light is literally from a pinpoint going out. That's divergent. When it goes to like railway tracks, it's literally separate, appearing to converge. Perspective is convergence. That light is divergence. It's totally opposite.
Yeah.
But I don't know how we'll get that into them. But to me, that I think it's just dishonesty from their part. They don't want to understand.
I think it's dishonesty because if anybody went to school that did art, like, and you got taught that in art.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I didn't study art for nothing.
I didn't study art, but like you got taught art. You know.
No,
I did draw perspective. You draw a flat horizon on your paper.
Let's just this way. Just to get into my art school, I had to do a 7-hour exam, and it was quite demanding. If I didn't understand perspective, I wouldn't have been able to pass that exam to get accepted into the art school.
You know, like when the teacher had to draw like a
Long
3D
test.
cube.
Yeah, 7 hours long. It was hectic.
I went last.
But yeah, no, but I value that so much. I really enjoyed that art because that's what's helped me as well with the flat Earth. Because that's why I'm perspective. That's what's perspective, because my main thing that got me over to FE was perspective, was seeing out in the distance and understanding. But hang on, this can be just explained optically. It's not physical. And the art helped me to get that understanding, for sure.
Yeah, I saw a couple of your videos with that showing the one. I think the first one I saw, you were talking about a guy that was showing perspective, like with I think he was taking a picture of a young girl.
Oh yeah.
Was
the photography online
by like
with a focal length, yeah.
Yeah, in the field by a building, kind of like a small barn kind of thing or something, and then the difference in that. And somebody on your comments or something, where one of the Globies was talking about how that doesn't, I don't know, just refuting it basically.
They think just because I was just talking about focal length, they try and strawman and say, oh, but this parallax, this perspective. No shit, Sherlock. Yeah, there's obviously. But I was specifically talking about focal length changing because the distance between the lens and the focal length to the sensor is different, so it gives a parallax difference. Now, the further you are with the distance, the more parallax is going to be observable. Now, obviously, when you go out and take far distance observations, you're not standing exactly the same place looking out. You bending down, you're standing up, looking left, right. Your observer height can be the same, but you're not holding your camera perfect level, you know what I mean? So you have these optical effects, which gives the appearance of, oh, let me see, no, it looks like this boat's gone over a curve, but in the meantime, it's just foreshortening.
Well, yeah, look at that Pontchartrain.
Mm-hmm.
That's forced from how your camera's being angled.
And I mean, I did a demonstration.
Probably weren't leveled on a tripod, looking straight out.
And I did a demonstration showing that with I've got a beam going across in my kitchen bar, and it's straight. And I just took it at an angle, and it made it look like it's bent, just because I foreshortened. I used forced perspective on it, and it looked like a curved beam, but it's a straight beam. It's just the angle. That's all it is.
But yeah, like Satan has hijacked vision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to push this, because it does come from Satan. Like it ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you were saying earlier, it like, you know, there's spirits affecting people's thinking. Like they might not know that it is, but ultimately it does come from Satan, and. Yeah, he's hijacked vision.
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. So I think that's the show today. I think that was
Really enjoyed
was a
it.
good show.
Really enjoyed
Yeah,
it,
it's
and
good.
it's been nice listening
Yeah.
to it. Like, very nice.
Definitely a good testimony, Eric, man. It's brilliant.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. It's really cool to have people like you that are very open and honest and genuine, and kind to kind of get into, to be able to come in here and ask questions, to explore ideas like that, without without with help, right? With being kind of helped along. And I know there's so many people that think that are so critical, that think we and you are lying, and we're really trying to push a certain ideal.
Yeah.
And it's if they only knew, man, how open and honest this group is. The people I've met so far, including you guys, are really open and honest, and very open to have conversation. So you don't find that too much anymore. So it's really refreshing, and I appreciate the love and respect you all give, and I give it back. So thank you so much for having me on.
Really appreciate it. You're always welcome. Like I said, you should maybe try to get Ellemnet on if you ever want to come into, just have a chat. It'll be really cool. Guys, if you haven't already,
you should try and join Element and come on when we
when you stream or
do some like Bible.
Oh yeah, Michael. I don't know if you
That'd
know. Michael has Tuesday night streams when I'm off, and he usually does Bible streams and stuff. And we do a lot of Bible streams. I love.
We're doing one on Tuesday.
Yeah.
What
I think you'll enjoy it.
What is it about this week, Michael?
Some more Trinity stuff.
Some more Trinity stuff. Can't wait. Can't wait.
I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah. Guys.
Awesome.
Eric's link is above. If you haven't already, please hit it. Subscribe to him and hit his like.
Yeah, and subscribe.
Yeah, so guys, I want to say thank you all for coming. Really, really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you coming in, Eric, and the panel. So yeah, you guys are awesome.
I've really enjoyed it. Like, it's been nice.
This is one of my favorite streams for the year so far, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys.
It was nice.
You guys have a good night.
You too, man. Thanks for coming. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah.
Yeah, like it was just refreshing, to talk to some. Like we've all been talking to each other for months and years, and but to talk to someone new, and it refreshes you, and this is why we do it.
I'll get my son in here.
There'll be another Eric
Next
tomorrow, and another one day after.
Oh, for sure. I'll get my 24-year-old son in here.
Awesome.
He's a new flat earther, so yeah, that'll be fun.
Sorry, Eric, I'm going to change the name of the show and stuff. Would you mind if I say ex-Glober? I know it's just to piss the Globies off.
No, I don't mind. Dude, you can say whatever you want. You're not going to... You can say whatever you want, man. I don't offend easily, so...
Awesome. Thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Okay, cheers.
Take care, Eric.
Blessings. Cheers, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thanks for hitting the likes and sharing the show. Thank you for the super chats. I really appreciate all the support you guys give the show. And yeah, please don't forget to subscribe to Eric's channel. I'm sure there's going to be very, very awesome awesome things coming from his channel soon. So until tomorrow night, many, many blessings. May the pressure be with you. Cheers.
The first day.